Welcome back to a brand new video, guys. So today's topic is going to be the Game Awards. It's hard to believe that the Game Awards are only actually less than a week away at this point. I want to throw my hat in the ring and talk about some predictions and maybe some wild card announcements that I hope to see at the show, what I think is realistic, and so on and so forth. Without further ado, let's get right into the predictions. There's been some rumors circulating around the internet about FromSoft being possibly bought out by Sony. That could segue into a Bloodborne remake or remaster announcement at the Game Awards. And there was also that 30th anniversary trailer too that just came out for PlayStation probably about a week ago as of this recording. I want to hone in on that one word. When they got to Bloodborne, it said persistence. Right? Now, you could say, oh, I'm just looking into it too deeply, don't read into it so much, but I don't know, man. I feel like the devil's in the details with this one because PlayStation knows that people are clamoring for a Bloodborne remaster / remake. What better time and better stage than the Game Awards, which they would be announcing it in 2024 and hopefully releasing in 2025, which would also coincide with the 10th anniversary of Bloodborne. I cannot believe that this game is already almost 10 years old, but I didn't buy it when it came out. I was actually in the middle of graduating high school around that time, so it was kind of difficult also buying new games and stuff like that, but Bloodborne looked absolutely incredible. I have played a little bit since that time. I really want to sink my teeth into a full-on Demon Souls remake levels of quality for Bloodborne because honestly, it deserves that treatment. Like I said, people have been clamoring for this for years now. It's been all over social media. I would absolutely be down for a Bloodborne remake / remaster from Sony. Hopefully that's something we could see at the Game Awards, and I think that's a fairly realistic prediction. Getting into the next one, we have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero DLC. The game launched back in October, and I believe as of right now, the only characters we have is Daima Goku, Daima Vegeta, and Gamma 1 and 2. We haven't seen any gameplay of Gamma 1 and 2 yet. I'm pretty sure we don't know any of the other DLC characters for that season pass, but I could be wrong. So yeah, it looks like we have Gamma 1 and 2, Glorio, and Daima Vegeta, and apparently we're getting another Daima DLC for the third pack. I don't know. I think the Game Awards has definitely had some anime / fighting game announcements. It's no stranger to that at this point. I think it's pretty much all but imminent to see some Sparking Zero DLC, maybe a brand new character announcement, or they just show off Gamma 1 and 2 because we haven't really seen anything yet. But I think that would be really neat. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero DLC would be pretty cool. It would be really cool to see those weird characters from Tenkaichi 3 have a return, like Devilman and Tambourine and what was it, the General of the Red Ribbon Army. That would be really fun. But yeah, I think we could expect to see a DLC reveal for Sparking Zero for sure. Now, this one could be really exciting. So obviously we would have, let's say we have the Bloodborne remake remaster announcement, right? PlayStation really has a chance right now to make some cool announcements at the Game Awards and kind of gather some hype around, from the community, because PlayStation, and actually I'll go out on a limb and say the gaming industry right now has been kind of in that I feel like a quiet before the storm. I don't want to I'll touch upon Nintendo. That's something I want to mention, but I'll get to that later. Xbox being Xbox, I mean, I don't expect anything from them at this point. Whatever we get now, Doom, which is going to be on everything. Doom looks great. Gears of War. With PlayStation right now, they're really marketing the ever-living crap out of the 30th anniversary, as they should. It would be nice to see some legacy franchises from the PS2 era or even PS3. I'd be down to see Resistance make a comeback, Infamous, Sly Cooper, of course, Jak and Daxter would be all wonderful to see. They could announce a remaster or remake of something at the Game Awards. And I'm gonna go lean into Sly Cooper because Sly Devious Raccoon is released and sold very well. So we have Sly Cooper 2, Band of Thieves, and Sly Cooper 3, Honor Among Thieves, releasing soon. What better time to announce Sly Cooper, either Sly Cooper 4 remaster or a brand new Sly Cooper altogether would be phenomenal. Moving right along, Capcom is about to have a crazy start in 2025 with the release of Monster Hunter Wilds coming out in February. They really have a chance right now to just really make some crazy announcement at the Game Awards. We just got the trailer for Mai Shiranui in Street Fighter 6. We haven't heard a lot from Resident Evil since the release of Resident Evil 4. Now, could we be getting Resident Evil 9, which would be exciting? I'm a huge Resident Evil guy. But if we're gonna go still in the realm of remakes and remasters, Dino Crisis. I believe Dino Crisis was the most popular game in the poll for what we want to see from Capcom. We're like, yeah, I think franchise we want to see make a return. I remember voting in the poll, but I don't remember exactly what the category was, but Dino Crisis was at the tippy top of the list. It would be absolutely incredible to see Dino Crisis remade or remastered, the RE engine. We've seen how well the Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 remakes have done. We're seeing such a resurgence of survival horror with Silent Hill 2's excellent remake. It's nominated in quite a few categories. And then obviously we've had Dead Space remake come out about a year ago. That did incredibly well too. So I think it's time for Dino Crisis to make a comeback, and the Game Awards would be the perfect stage to show that off. And Dino Crisis also just got a re-release on PlayStation not too long ago, and it's now available for sale, which initially was only through PlayStation Plus, which was kind of whack, but there you have it. I think Dino Crisis is a very realizable pick to see at the Game Awards this year, so we'll have to wait and see. Now, this next one is pretty much a meme in the gaming community at this point. Could we finally, in the year 2024, get a release date for Hollow Knight Silksong? Could this be the time? Because in all honesty, out of multiple indie games, Hollow Knight definitely deserves a stage as big as the Game Awards for something like a release trailer. We've seen plenty of gameplay at this point. We know it's going to be incredible. The original Hollow Knight was such a blast. Haven't beaten it, but I got pretty far into it and I absolutely adored it, as I love my Metroidvanias. I think this could be a great night to show off Hollow Knight Silksong. I know Team Cherry has been busy at work over the past couple years since its announcement. They've been finally tuning this game into the masterpiece I know it's going to be. Moving right along, mentioned Street Fighter before, but let's get into Tekken. So this one has been tossed around the internet for a while. Again, with a grand stage such as the Game Awards, if you're going to announce a guest character for any fighting game, the Game Awards is the perfect time to do it. And what better character for a guest appearance than Tifa Lockhart? It's a no-brainer. Tifa, with her brawler style in Final Fantasy VII, would be an absolute joy to play as in Tekken 8. Her moveset would translate perfectly. In all honesty, she's a way better pick than Noctis. As much as I love Noctis in Tekken 7 for all his janky glory, Tifa is a no-brainer. And to get Final Fantasy VII music along with a stage in Tekken would be incredible. Because we know the Northern Crater and Midgar looked phenomenal in Smash Ultimate, but to get that next-gen level graphics, akin to Rebirth or whatever, would be incredible to see. Yeah, I think Tifa for Tekken 8 would be an incredible reveal. The pop from the audience would be like Stone Cold Steve Austin levels of crazy. Honestly, even if we don't get a character like Tifa, I know people have been talking about Yakuza, maybe seeing like Kazuma Kiryu. I think that would be fun. I don't know much about Yakuza. I've been really wanting to get into that franchise, but for the time being, both of those would be really crazy guest characters to announce. But if they go with any other character from the Tekken franchise, I am totally cool with that too. Namco has been absolutely cooking with this game, so whatever they decide to do for Tekken. So at the Game Awards, we usually see a medley of gacha game announcements, whether it be Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail. So I think it's fair to assume we're going to see a new Honkai Star Rail trailer at the Game Awards. Honkai is about to go into version 3.0 with a new region, so I'm sure we're going to get a new trailer for that. And they're also doing that Fate collab for Honkai as well. So I think it would be really exciting for fans of Honkai Star Rail to see something like that at the Game Awards. Now, I have not played a ton of Honkai Star Rail, but I try to keep up with, gaming as a whole, seeing the news around what's what. But Honkai is very huge. I'm fairly certain we're going to see Zenless Zone Zero stuff at the Game Awards, as well as Withering Waves as well. That one has really popped off, in particular with its release this year as well. Fans of the genre should have a lot to look forward to, and I'm sure the Game Awards is going to be something there for the gacha fan. Could we see some Sega news at the Game Awards? So ever since the last year's Game Awards, we got that announcement that Sega was rebooting a bunch of their franchises with some crazy new entries, brand new Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Shinobi, so on and so forth. This could be crazy for Sega, because right now, obviously they're hot off the heels of Shadow Cross Sonic Generations. We're getting DLC for that. The Keanu Reeves, the movie pack, comes out December 10th. In addition to that, we could get new Sonic news on top of new Sega announcements from last year. I would love to see what they've been cooking. They have a trailer for one of those projects or even multiple Sega projects at the Game Awards. I'd be all in for that. I think that could be really exciting. Me personally, I am really holding out for that Jet Set Radio trailer. So I'm really hoping that that game delivers. We've seen games like Bomb Rush Cyberpunk released in the past couple years, did absolutely well, kept the heart and soul of the Jet Set franchise, while fans like me anxiously await a new entry into the series. I'm really feeling that 2000s nostalgia lately too, so having that vibe back in almost the mid 2020s now, which is wild, would be a blast to see. So I saved the craziest one for last. Now this is totally a pipe dream. Those words were intended. Could we see the House of Mario show up to the Game Awards this year with some sort of Switch 2 teaser? I am by no means holding my breath for a Switch 2 announcement. Would I like to see a Switch 2 announcement at the Game Awards? Me and everybody else. However, Nintendo doesn't really need a platform like the Game Awards to announce something like that. Nintendo's notorious for just shadow dropping trailers on X, surprise Nintendo Direct announcements, but it would be really cool to see Nintendo announce at least a teaser of an announcement. Us in the Nintendo community, we're just grasping at anything we can get at this point. Not throwing shade at some YouTube channels, but they're definitely struggling for content right now with the absolute barren desert that is Nintendo news coming down the pipeline, or lack thereof. Even if Nintendo decides to show off another Switch game, and I know I'm leaning very heavily into remasters and remakes and stuff like that, it's a huge money maker and they're here to stay, so that gets crazy reactions at the Game Awards. Another thing too, to add on to that, with the Switch obviously looking like it's on its last legs, but who knows at this point, given all the recent releases, which are like table scraps, but they're great table scraps, because obviously Nintendo's been sitting on finished stuff for a while, releasing Mario Luigi Brotherhood recently, obviously Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which is nominated at the Game Awards as well. Yeah, honestly, if not a Switch 2 teaser, some sort of Nintendo anything would be great to see at this point at the Game Awards. Their track record is very spotty, only seeing games like Bayonetta 3 was announced years and years ago, my god. Actually, I lied. One last thing I'd like to say is, it's the Game Awards. I go in with tempered expectations, as should all of you guys. You know what to expect from the Game Awards. You know, Jeff Keighley kind of telling the gaming audience, we got a lot to look forward to, and then it's dud after dud announcement, depending on who you are. If there's something for you there, I hope so. I hope there's an announcement for everybody this year to be excited about going into 2025, and who knows, maybe we'll get like some sort of stealth drop. That's gonna do it for me, guys, on my predictions for the Game Awards this year, but I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Sound off in the comments below, and as always, like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Thank you, and enjoy the show next week, December 12th.